Hey, hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sagar Prajapati and this video will be talking about how we can run a Databricks notebook using Azure Data Factory. So if you can see that we have Azure Data Factory over here, and we have also a Azure Databricks environment, right? And here we have one notebook called parameters, and this notebook needs to be run with the help of Azure Data Factory. So we'll see how we can do that. So I'll just quickly create a new pipeline. So click on this, and here I can just write down something like notebook pipeline underscore notebook. Cool. And then in this activity option, you have to drag this notebook option, even though we have this jar and Python options also available, but as of now I will just using here notebook option. Now this is a general settings like timeout, retry, interval, secure output or secure input. If you want to check this, you can check this out, otherwise you can keep it blank. So what does this secure output means? That you will not be able to see the output of this notebook. Okay, sometimes what happens that in the production environment we give access to the users to see or to monitor the pipelines, and suppose maybe in your notebook there is some credential things are stored, or some credential things are not credentials, we can say some security things are returned, and you do not want your user to see that. So in that case, what you can do, you can check this secure output option, and likewise you can also check this secure input option. And this is just a timeout thing, and retry, if you want to retry this pipeline whenever it gets failed, though you can just write it down here, and you can write down the intervals in second, like after how many second or minute you want to retry your pipeline. Okay, now if you click on this Azure Databricks, you have to first you have to choose here link service. So since we do not have link service, so we have to create it. How we can create it? Click on it and connect via integration runtime. So we will use auto resolve integration runtime, the Azure one, because Azure Databricks is hosted on the cloud environment, right? And here if you can see, we have these two options for the connections, like from Azure subscription or enter manually. So if I choose here from Azure subscription, select all, or else you can use my subscription, and here you have to choose the Databricks workspace, and then you can see the Databricks workspace URL automatically comes over here, and then you can see that there is an authentication type, whether you want to access via access token, manage service identity, or user assigned manage identity. So as of now, what we are going to do, we are going to connect with the access token only. And here you can see there is a two options, yet we can directly put the access token here, or else we can also put the access token in our Azure Key Vault. Okay, actually what usually we should do is that we usually put the credentials or the security things in our Key Vault only, but for this video what I'll do, I'll just put it over here. So how you can create a access token? Go to your workspace, go to user settings, I believe, and there you can see you have access token button. So generate new token, since we do not have, and generate it. Make sure that you copy this and go back to this and put it over here. Cool. Now if you can see this cluster, now you have to choose the cluster version. So which cluster version you want to choose it. So let's say I'm using 11.3 LTS ML, right? And here you have to choose the cluster node type, which one. So I'm just taking the less one only. Okay, and here you want to specify the Python version. So for now my Python version would be 3, and here you can also specify worker nodes, like if it is fixed or auto scaling. See, suppose you have very less data, and the data will be very less in future also, or in coming days, then you should use the fixed one. Okay, you do not want auto scaling feature in that. Suppose you can say that sometimes the data can be very huge, can be very large amount, then you can use this auto scaling thing. So as of now I just want a one worker node. You can go increase it, and then we have this additional cluster configuration, like you want to write some configuration over here, and then this, and some database init script if you want to add it, and some cluster log destination. And here also you can just write down cluster drive node type. So you can choose it based on your need. So all these things are not required as of now. Cool. And see, in the cluster type I chosen this new job cluster. So since from ADF we can choose three type of cluster. One is new job, like job cluster. Job cluster is nothing but is a cluster which creates on runtime. That's why see, we are choosing the configuration of the cluster of the machine, right? Because it is not exist as of now. It will exist when the pipeline will run. Then the second option is the existing interactive cluster. Okay, so this here we have to pass the existing cluster which is present. Okay, so it is okay, existing cluster. Now if I go back here, just click on done and go to this compute option. Now you can see we have only one all purpose compute things, right? So actually the UI got changed somehow. So now you can see if I go to this advanced options, then you can get the ID. This is my ID. This is only ID, right? Yeah, this is only the ID. So you have to specify this cluster ID. This is only, I believe, yeah. So if I go back, and here if you pass the cluster ID and click enter, okay, it seems like it is not getting cluster ID. Actually it should come over here, I'm not sure why. Okay, let me just do it now. Add workspace access token, add workspace and access token to list option. Okay, okay, cool. So why it is not coming, I'll just got it. Okay, maybe there is some setting missing. I'll just let you know in coming videos. And so like with the help of this we can create a existing, we can run our notebooks with the help of existing cluster. So here we just pass we just have to pass the ID of the cluster, and like this is only the ID of the cluster. I'm not sure, see, you can see this is only the ID of the cluster, okay, which needs to be passed over there. And then third option is the existing instance pool, and here also you have to create it. So since add workspace and access token to list options, so it is not coming as of now, and you have to choose the cluster versions and other stuff like I told you before. Okay, so as of now I'll just use the new job cluster and try to do a create connection. So you can see it got successfully. I'll just click on this create button. Okay, it is running now. Yeah, it's cool. Now I have to go to this setting option and click on this browse. So here you can see all these folders comes, and I'll just quickly go to my users, my email ID, and then I need to run this notebook. So I'll just choose in there, and here you have to run you have to choose, you have to not, you can choose whether if you want to pass some parameters in this notebook while running or not. So what I can do, suppose I want to pass it, so I'll just write down some name, let's say message, something like that, and here I am passing like hello. Okay, I am just passing hello. Cool. This is only right. Okay, no, just leave it. Suppose you want to pass the parameter, like what is the data factory name. So I'll just write here data factory name, and instead here, like I'll just make this kind of dynamic, and I'll choose this system variable. Okay, likewise you can use another name like pipeline name, pipeline, and here also you can choose the system variable functions like pipeline name, and likewise you have pipeline group ID, pipeline ID, and so on. Cool. So I just use this, and you can also see this append library option. You can add your dependency library. Suppose if you are running this job and if you want to first install some library, and then you think that this pipeline or this notebook should be run, then you have to define your libraries over here, with the help of this jar, egg, egg, wheel, pypp, pypi, and maven and cran. So like if I choose this, and if I want to install some library, then we can pass it over here. Cool. So as of now I do not need it, so I'll just delete it, and everything seems correct. Cool. And in the notebook, if I go back to my notebook, I'm not sure whether I can able to create a job cluster, because since this is kind of a free version I'm using, so we'll also see it. Now you can see I already written something over here, right? So instead of this, what I'll do, I'll just copy this, and instead of this I'll just put it the name. So it's good that you put the same name, not text, right? Not txt. I'll just use here .datafactory name, and here also I'll just write the datafactory name, and here I'll just choose the pipeline, and likewise I'll just choose the pipeline, and pipeline, just remove this and cancel this. Cool. Cancel this, and we'll try to run this thing. So I'll just for now, okay, sorry, I debug it. We'll see. Actually I have to publish it before, but no worries, it will run. Maybe it will break because of the access issues. We'll see. Now you can see it is taking time. Because why it is taking time? Because the cluster is not already present. So first it will create the cluster, and it will take some 2 to 3 minutes to up the cluster or to initiate the cluster, and then it will do the processing. Okay, it is running. It will take quite time, so what I'll do, I'll just stop this video as of now, and then I'll start it once my job cluster ups. So now if you can see that I do not have the access actually to create the job cluster, so that's why this issue is coming. As I told you that I'm using the free version of this, that's why it is happening. So what I'll do, I'll just try to create I just try to run this via a job cluster, not a job cluster from the interactive cluster. Then we will see. So how we can do that? I have to change the link service a little bit. So what I'll do, I'll just go to my link service option. This is the link service option, and click on this, and here I have to choose the existing interactive cluster, right? Now I have just passed the access token by the same method what I told you before, and if I just select this existing cluster, and then here you can see I can use this Sagar Prajapati's cluster what I created before, and this is the existing cluster in my notebook also, right? So I'll just go to apply. Actually first I have to do a test connection, so okay, it will work, I know. And then seems correct, just go to publish it. I just do not need to publish it since I am just doing a debugging thing, so cancel it. And if I go to my notebook also, just click on this, done. And then if I go to my this parameter notebooks, then what I'll do, I'll just create here like this, datafactory.get.thung, and here I'll just write a txt. Cool. And likewise also I'll just put the same thing over here for the pipeline things to get a better understanding of it. Now I'll just go back and I'll just try to not debug it, try to debug it, not the trigger. So we'll see, it will take some time, because since now see, you can see this cluster is not up, right? Now what this will do, first it will up the cluster, the existing cluster, it will first up. Now if I just go to this I option, right, then you can see it's saying that waiting for data cluster to be ready. Now if I go to my go back to my notebook, then you can see this, I did not touch this, I did not run this, right? It is automatically getting up, right? So what I'll do, I'll just stop this recording for now, and I'll come after 2-3 minutes, and then we'll see the output. Now if you can see that I can able to see this run page URL. So if I click on it, then we'll see what's happening over here. It is running, it is loading. Now if you can see, this command is being running, and I can also show you the parameters over here. Now you can see the parameters is data factory name, that is Geekcoders source, and then we have this pipeline notebook, like the pipeline value is pipeline_notebook. Cool. So this is the way how we can run the pipelines in our ADF. Likewise, see right now what we have done so far, that I just 1 minute. What I did is that I just hard coded this value. Suppose you want to run the notebook on a runtime, then what you can do, instead giving this, I'll just rather create a parameter, let's say notebook path, something like that. Cool. And just quickly come here, delete this, add dynamic content, use this parameter. Cool. And then if you click on this debug button, then first it will ask the parameter, it will ask the path name. Okay, so what you will do, you just do this, copy file path and paste it over here. So what you can do, what you are doing here, now you are saving multiple notebooks, the instance of multiple notebook. See, suppose I have 5 notebooks, and if you want to run the 5 notebooks, what you will do, you will create 5 notebooks separately, right? Instead, what I did, I just created a one notebook, and with the help of that notebook only, I am running multiple notebooks. You can add your parameter on runtime, just whenever you scheduling it, or whenever you add a triggering, it will ask the pipeline name. Okay, I will also show you how you can do. So let me first publish this notebook, and I'll just let you know. Okay, it is publishing. Give me just 10 seconds. Okay, it got completed. Now if I just add this trigger, and if I not trigger now, like suppose you are scheduling this pipeline, I'll just quickly go here and click on new trigger. I can use the schedule time every 5 minutes. Suppose everything seems correct, and just click on OK. Now you can see it will ask the notebook path, the parameter. So you can pass like this, you can pass some different notebook. Suppose I have a notebook called Key Vault, right? So you can pass this notebook also, and XYZ notebooks also, notebook path also, right? So this is the way how you can save or reduce the couple of multiple notebooks or multiple activities. Okay, I hope you have got this idea, and you got the difference between a job cluster and the schedule trigger. And even though you can see in this, we have this Python and jar option. So if you just drag it here, it is quite same thing. You have to choose the link service, like I choose in here, and then you have to pass the file name which is stored in the dbfs location. If you want to run the function or the Python script, then you can quickly do that, right? And likewise we have this jar wala option, and here also we do the same thing. If you just go to the setting option, you have to pass the class name and then other parameter and other stuff. So these all things are not needed as of now. Like, we usually do the things with the ADB notebooks or Databricks notebooks. And apart from this, what we usually have it is that, like this is what about the how you can run the notebooks using Azure Data Factory. And I hope you have got this. And please subscribe to my channel, share with your friends if you are liking it, and send me the connection request over the LinkedIn, Telegram, and you can talk me also in the LinkedIn. And if you have some concern and if you want to ask some doubts, then you can schedule a call on TopMate. Till then, bye bye.